It was supposed to be just another rainy night, cold, lonely, and meaningless. But for Alexander Knight, the man everyone called the heartless CEO, that night would tear down the walls he'd built for years. Because under the heavy rain, he found something he never expected to see: a young mother, drenched to the bone, shielding her baby with her trembling arms. She had nothing, except hope. And that hope would soon change both their lives forever. Cloud with Rain Chapter 1, The Girl in the Rain. Rain poured endlessly, beating against the shining windows of Knight Industries' towering skyscraper. Inside, Alexander Knight stood in his penthouse office, his eyes fixed on the city below. He was 32, one of the youngest billionaires in the country, cold, calculating, and feared. The tabloids called him the man with an iron heart. Employees whispered that he'd never smiled, never cared, never loved. And they weren't wrong. After losing his parents in a car crash as a boy, Alexander had built walls so high that nothing human could reach him. Life was a business deal, people were tools. But fate has strange ways of finding cracks in even the strongest walls. That night, as he drove home through the storm, his sleek black car slowed near an abandoned bus stop. Through the windshield, he saw a faint figure, a woman kneeling on the wet ground, her clothes soaked, her hair plastered to her face. She held a baby close to her chest, covering it with her thin scarf. At first, he looked away. People like her were everywhere, lost, struggling. Not his concern, but something about the way she looked at her baby, her trembling lips whispering lullabies through the rain, stopped him. Against his better judgment, Alexander pulled over. He stepped out, the rain instantly soaking his tailored suit. "You shouldn't be out here," he said sharply. The girl looked up, startled, her wide brown eyes filled with both fear and exhaustion. "I'm sorry," she murmured softly. "I'll move. I didn't mean to be in your way." Her voice was weak but kind, the kind that still carried gentleness even after the world had been cruel. He frowned. "Where are you going?" She hesitated, hugging her baby tighter. "Anywhere that's warm," she whispered. "But I'll be fine." Something inside him stirred, something he thought had died long ago. Without thinking, he took off his jacket and handed it to her. "Take it. You'll catch pneumonia like that." Her lips trembled. "I can't, I don't have a way to return it." "Keep it," he said coldly, trying to sound detached. But the image of her, small, fragile, shielding her child from the storm, stayed burned into his mind. When she tried to walk away, he found himself saying, "Wait. There's a coffee shop nearby. Come with me. The baby needs warmth." And that was how Alexander Knight, the man who never let anyone close, ended up sitting in a quiet cafe at midnight, across from a woman named Lena. Lena didn't ask for help. She didn't complain. She just thanked him softly and focused on feeding her baby, her eyes full of love and sorrow. Between sips of coffee, he asked, "Where's the baby's father?" Her gaze dropped to the table. "Gone," she said. "A drunk driver hit him 3 months ago. I lost our home soon after. I've been trying to find work, but," she smiled faintly. "It's hard when no one wants to hire someone carrying a baby." Alexander's chest tightened, something unfamiliar, almost painful. When the cafe closed, he offered to drive her somewhere safe. She refused politely, saying, "We'll manage." But as she stepped into the rain again, something inside him broke. He couldn't explain it, but he couldn't let her vanish into the darkness. Sunrise Chapter 2, The Cold Heart Melts. The next morning, Lena woke to find herself and her baby in a warm guest room. The last thing she remembered was Alexander insisting she stay, just for one night. When she tried to leave, he stopped her. "You can stay until you find a job," he said, pretending it was just practicality. "I'll have my assistant help you." Days turned into weeks. Lena worked quietly, helping around the house, always humble, never asking for more. She laughed softly when playing with her baby, a sound that filled the mansion with warmth it had never known. Alexander started coming home early. He told himself it was because of business paperwork, but it was her smile he waited for. He found himself watching the baby, little Noah, giggle at the smallest things, a reminder of innocence he thought the world had destroyed. Slowly, the cold CEO began to thaw. But every story has its test. One afternoon, his board members discovered that a homeless woman was staying in his mansion. Rumors spread. His image, his empire, his pride, all at risk. Get her out, one of them sneered. She's using you. For the first time, Alexander didn't know what to do. He was torn between the world that made him powerful, and the world Lena had shown him, where kindness still mattered. That night, Lena overheard him arguing with his business partners. Her eyes filled with tears. Before dawn, she packed her few belongings and left a note on his desk. Greater than, thank you for everything. You gave me more than you know. Don't let them make you hard again. The world needs people like you, even if you don't see it. When Alexander woke and found the note, something inside him shattered completely. He realized it wasn't pity that made him help her, it was love. He searched for her for weeks, using every resource he had, but she was gone. Until one rainy evening, just like that first night, he found her again. Outside a small bakery, under the same gray sky, Lena stood with Noah in her arms, handing out bread to other struggling mothers. Her face glowed with quiet strength. Alexander approached slowly. She turned, surprise flickering in her eyes, then tears. You found me, she whispered. He nodded. I never stopped looking. He stepped closer, his voice trembling. You taught me what I forgot, that people aren't business deals, and hearts aren't investments. You gave me hope, when you had none left. Lena smiled through tears. Hope is the only thing I had to give. And for the first time in years, Alexander Knight, the cold CEO, wrapped his arms around someone, not out of obligation, but out of